So I got a question. If God told you to leave your partner right now, would you do it?
So I watched her entire video on YouTube, Capriciana, and she was just asking the question, if God told you to leave your relationship, would you leave it? And she was just sharing her own personal conviction she had with the current relationship that she was in. And it was just so amazing to see so many women in her comments that was condemning her, telling her she just wanted to be single. She didn't understand she had a good man. They feel so sorry for her boyfriend. She's trying to tear her son away from his dad. And I was just confused. I'm like, okay, this is her conviction. This is what God placed on her heart. Obviously, God has been dealing with her about this for a long time, and she's just speaking on her convictions and what he wants her to do, and how it's been hard because she does love him. She does know he's a good man, but God, for some reason, is pulling her away from him. And I remember sending her a message because I always said, if I could speak to a woman that's younger than me, who current situation was like my past situation, I would speak to her and I would tell her how I got through it and what happened when I didn't be obedient to God's calling on my life. And so, and I just let her know, like, don't feel bad, because when God is talking to you. I was in that situation. I was in a relationship for about 6.5 years. And the relationship was very rocky. We finally split up. He went his way, I went my way. I started to change my life. I got saved. I was heavy in my walk with Christ. After about a year and a half, he and I came back together and we started back dealing with each other. Now, prior to him coming back, I had spoken with my pastor at church, and I remember her telling me, like, you're too beautiful to be sad. You're too beautiful to be depressed. I understand you love this man and he loved you, but it didn't work out. Just continue to serve God. He will make a way. And you will get married. You're not going to be alone. I do see that God has a husband for you. And a lot of times what we tend to do is, when we have prophecies that are spoken over our life, we try to fulfill those ourselves. We don't wait and let God do it. We try to do it ourselves. And that's something that I did. So afterwards, like I said, after about a year and a half, my boyfriend, he came back. He was like, I made a mistake. I want to be with you. The thing is, he still was confused. It still was a lot of back and forth, back and forth. Eventually, we stayed together. Now, this is around 2020, around COVID. I just remember God telling me to let it go. Remind you, we had applied for a marriage license because we were going to get married. And so I remember God telling me to let it go, let it go. And I'm like, why? Like I said, COVID had hit. He ended up going back home because we had moved in with each other. He ended up going back home because I told him I just wanted to live apart, because I felt like I was getting my life together. I was going to church. I was reading my Bible. I don't want to be shacked up with you. I don't want to be fornicating. I'm trying to get my life together. And he agreed. He was like, you know what? I support that. I love you. I'll wait for you. Little did I know, he was doing his own thing behind the scenes. I just did not know that. He proposed to me. I was wearing his ring. We had applied again. We had again applied for another marriage license because we had let the first expire. So he went home. I just remember God telling me, let it go. Let it go. And in my mind, I'm like, well, Lord, I love him. He loves me. Why would I let it go? He kept telling me, let it go, let it go, let it go. And I remember telling my boyfriend at the time, like, he's pulling me away. He's telling me to let it go. And just like the women in her comments, he was like, well, why will God tell you to let me go? I love you. I'm faithful to you. I'm a good man. I'm hardworking. Why would he tell you to let me go? Then I started to feel bad. I'm like, well, maybe that's the devil playing on my mind because he don't want me to be happy. Because remind you, God said he had a husband for me, and I think this is my husband. So that's probably the devil playing on my mind. No, God was telling me to let it go. I didn't let it go. I kept dealing with him, kept dealing with him. We eventually got married December 2020, my current husband. And I will say it has been a up and down hill, a battle when it came to my marriage. In the beginning of my marriage, I dealt with a lot, from infidelity to, and when I say infidelity, he didn't sleep with other women, but he entertained them. And I was just going through a lot. And I remember finding things out that happened prior to us getting married, like maybe a month or two before us getting married. I'm like, Lord, why didn't you tell me? And I remember him telling me, I tried to tell you. You didn't want to listen. So I let go. And I remember just going to church and them letting me know, now you are married. You created a covenant under God to this man. So now you have to wait until God does the work on your husband, until God delivers your husband. It is your job as his wife now to pray for him. And I have to pray for me, and I have to pray for my son and ask God to keep us covered, because I don't know what my husband is doing when he's not at home, when I'm serving, or if I'm going to church and he's not going. I don't know what's going on. All I can do is stay in constant prayer. But had I listened, I wouldn't be in that situation. So, like I said, I love my husband. My husband knows this. We've talked about this before, and I told him it wasn't. I'm not saying this to say I don't want to be with him, but I'm saying at that time it wasn't my time to get married. God had work that he needed to do on me. And it's not saying that I wouldn't marry my husband, but God had work to do on him as well. We both had a lot of work that needed to be done internally, and we did not listen. And now I even got other stories too that I could tell you guys of us. Now we're married, when we did not listen to God and made a mess out of things. So anyway, only thing I'm saying to Capriciana and any other young lady that sees her video or may come across my video, if God is calling you apart from that relationship, let it go. He has a purpose for you. He has a promise that he's going to fulfill for you. He has a calling over your life. He has work for you to do. Let it go. Walk away. Be obedient to God. Like they say, warning comes before destruction. Listen to him. Don't make a mess out of your life. Anyway, you guys be blessed and have a great day.